What is the current situation of the Black Pope?
Oh yes, well they've just changed. They've changed chairs here just recently. The man who was the Black Pope. The Black Pope is simply the Jesuit general, the man who was in charge of the Jesuits, and God knows that's a story right there in itself. Who are the Jesuits? What are they, and what part do they play in the downfall of America? What part did they play in the uprisings and murder for hire in Central America, Mexico, the drug cartels, Medellin drug cartels in Colombia? What part did the Jesuits play for the Vatican and for the Knights Templars in the world of white slavery, pornography, drug running, murder for hire, all of the most incredible, filthiest, and dirtiest stuff in the world? Jesuits are involved in, and the church is involved in. We know that the Catholic Church is involved in all kinds of pornographic stuff and drug running and murder for hire and overthrow of countries. There's a lot of stuff that people just don't know. And unless and until we look up and find out what this whole Roman institution that's dominated the globe for over 3,000 years, until we wake up and find out what America was supposed to be and why the founding fathers had to do it over here and leave Europe to come here for freedom, and why is it that when America was founded, the Catholic Church was not allowed to operate in this country? That is a fact of history. The Catholic Church was outlawed when this country was first founded and was not allowed to operate in America. When, in fact of law, and point of fact, it is today running the whole planet. And so I'm just amazed at how much we don't know and how much we don't care to know. And that's why, incidentally, I'm going to start very soon. I'm going to start a private club where it's going to be a research society, a research club, and people will have to join it because I'm tired of just talking to the masses. Because I'm 70 years old, I don't have many more years on this earth. I've spent 50 years pursuing this kind of knowledge. I am aware, I'm painfully well aware, that the majority of the people on the earth couldn't care less about anything I'm talking about. I know that, and especially in America. It has nothing, as I said, to do with sports. So there are some people in this country and around the globe who are awakened and who are intellectually enlightened to know that there's something drastically evil going on the earth and want to know. So I'm setting up, and I'm in the process of doing it right now, a research organization whereby you can come to get tons of material. I have boxes in storage in my garage of incredible materials, documents and pictures, diagrams of how this system works, how the government works, how banks work, how the religious operations of the churches operate behind the scenes with the mafia, with the underworld, with the international gangster movements around the world. I had an FBI agent tell me many years ago. He called me from San Diego, and I've said this in public many times. I had an FBI agent call and warn me. He said, when you're talking about, right now, he told me, this was years ago, he said, right now when you're talking about government, your government does not see you as any real problem right now. But when you talk about the church, especially the Catholic Church in America, you are talking about organized crime. You're talking about mafia, underworld, La Cosa Nostra. You're talking about the Roman system. And when you do that, somewhere along the line, they're going to have enough of you. So your life may be in danger, not from your government, but from the church. Because the church in America is nothing more than a criminal syndicate. And it has been raping this country and raping the poor people. And somewhere along the line, you're exposing this to get you in trouble. Not with your government, but with religion. That was the advice from an FBI agent. So I know what I'm up against. I know that most people in this country love their churches. They see their churches as the bastions of light and wisdom and knowledge, when in point of fact they're nothing more than 501c3 corporations incorporated under the federal government. It's really a tragic story of where our great republic is, where our people are mentally and spiritually. And unless and until we wake up and find out we've been had, it's over for us. America's enemies have taken us over from Europe. They've opened the doors to allow. Where do you think and why do you think the problem of illegal immigrants comes from? They're coming from Mexico. They're coming from across the border through Canada. What we're seeing is actually the destruction of the great republic of America. But there's a reason for it. There's something going on here, and you cannot have a new world order in which the biggest guy on the block is still too strong to submit. So you've got to destroy the great republic, which represented freedom and liberty and justice for all mankind. You've got to destroy that power, and you've got to do it in such a way that the people will never suspect what you're doing. Because if the American people ever figure out who is really doing this to us and how it's being worked, and who the culprits who are destroying our great country, they're going to rebel. And when they do, we got a lot of people with guns, and it's going to be very, very unhealthy out there for everyone. So the way our country is being destroyed, it has to be done in such a way that nobody is going to really figure out the name of the tune. And once in a while, somebody might figure a little bit of it out. They'll go to prison or be whacked. And so that's why I'm saying if you want to understand what's going on in America, you better look at Rome. You better look at the Roman history for the past 3,000 years. You better look at why America was founded. And you better look at the secret societies, the fraternal orders coming out of Rome, because that's what's killing your country today. And we are being given basketball and soccer instead of being told who is destroying our great country.
Well, let me ask you this. Another question from the chat room, which kind of goes on topic right now. Could you ask Jordan if he thinks that humans have any chance to turn the world around, or are we too far gone?
Well, you're asking for a subjective opinion, and it's just my opinion. I say no. There is no possible way for human life forms to protect themselves. Let me give you an example. Out in the Serengeti plains of Africa, you see the thousands of animals grazing out on the plains of Africa. You see the lions crawling very quietly. The lions are organized. The animals out there grazing on the plains of Africa, they're not only not organized, they don't even know they're alive. They're just out doing what they normally do, eating, watching their young, and moving along to find more grass to eat. So they're just trying to stay alive and do whatever it is they do as an animal. But the lions are different. They are organized. They know exactly what they're doing. And they're crawling quietly, and they are calculating what they're going to do and when they're going to do it. Well, that's what's happening with America. The American people are so busy watching television and playing games and watching all the silly nonsense of games on television. Nobody is reading. Nobody is questioning anything. We go along to get along. I do not believe, and it's just my opinion, I do not believe the human race can be saved. That's my opinion. I don't think we have a chance in hell. Not at all. And the reason why is because if you try and tell people what I'm telling you, they're going to think there's something wrong with you. They're going to call the police on you. You must be an Al-Qaeda or a communist or something. And because you are bad-mouthing their Lord. The Lord, and never realizing the English word Lord, look it up in the English dictionary, and you will find L-O-R-D was originally L-A-R-D. It's just very disappointing in life for me to see America and where she is today and what's going on with her, because I know the people do not know who the enemy is. And they will continue to crawl on their knees to their enemies, never realizing the people you're doing business with are underworld criminals coming out of Rome, Pontifex Maximus, the entire dirty system. of the what we call our Senate, our Congress, up on the Hill. All of this is a very ancient, evil system, and we have fallen prey to it, like all the other peoples in the world. As a matter of fact, we're the ones that are leading the world into all of this mess. So don't look for anything coming out of the churches to save anything. The churches can't save themselves. All they're doing is jumping around the stage, doing dances, and collecting money.